You made a resolution to do some reading.
I did.
And so I really appreciate you bringing one of your book reviews here for us today. We'll talk a little bit about Bitcoin. So go ahead and take it away,
sure.
Mike.
So the first book that I picked for this year is Mastering Bitcoin by Andreas M. Antonopoulos. I hope I said that right. This was great. This was a really good way to start off the year reading an interesting book like this. It is, when it says Mastering Bitcoin, they really do mean that. I mean, you can read this book, you can read, and I've talked to John because he's gotten about halfway through it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten through all of it. But the thing I like about it is, even though what you said is very comprehensive, it's not a super long read. I just didn't get a chance to finish it. I've only gotten 2 days reading, I got halfway through. But anyway.
So my favorite thing about the book is that it's accessible. And you can start at the beginning and you can read the first chapter, and then maybe if you wanted to dip your toe into each of the subsequent chapters, you'd still get a lot out of it without having to understand the nitty-gritty. But if you really want to go for it, you can. And I did. I read every word in the book. There's a lot of discussion about crypto. There's a lot of discussion about the mechanisms, hashing, and other. I don't feel like I'm not doing it justice. If I would say read it definitely if you want to get that full technical aspect of it. You can either read it as a technical person, or you can just get the high level. But you will learn something when you read this book, regardless.
Even if you read just the first 3 chapters of this book, you're gonna understand, and you know nothing about Bitcoin. You're gonna understand Bitcoin at a very high level, and because I didn't really understand how all these different pieces connected with each other, and how the transactions worked, and it really kind of clarified it. And he has really good examples in here as well, I think.
So my favorite part of it is that I would be reading this book and I would start thinking about what he was saying, and I'd come to a point and go, I feel like I need to understand more about this particular topic, and the next sentence would be, for a discussion on mining, go to page 173, and I'd be like, that is exactly where I want to go. So it's written with my kind of thought process in mind, which I appreciate. I was really excited to be reading this. It's weird to say this, but I felt like when I was reading this, I was exploring something like a whole ecosystem in depth that had been created with a lot of thought, and everything sort of flowed progressively to say, here's where you could potentially attack this, which is why we've implemented what's in the next paragraph. It feels like I went to school and I learned about computer engineering, and when I was reading TCP/IP and the intricacies of that and the different patches and the reasons why people made changes, it felt like this. It felt like I was part of that progression. So it was kind of cool.